Sup internets, this is Gothic Gamer. Well, it's been a month since Anthem was first announced back at E3. Since that time, we haven't had any additional information about the game. And what we do have has been picked apart by the entire Anthem community. So while we're waiting for more juicy details to be revealed by BioWare, I think now's a good time to take part in one of my favorite pastimes: wild speculation. See, I have this theory about Anthem, but I have absolutely no solid evidence to base it on. Just a hunch based off of some very interesting details that I've noticed so far. Right now, everyone assumes this game will play pretty much like The Division, or more similarly, like Destiny. You know, with a persistent shared world that's often referred to as an MMO light. Now what if that wasn't the case? Just imagine for a moment the possibility that perhaps Anthem will play very differently. Consider this. In the gameplay demo, the only time people joined our team was outside the wall, that is, outside of the hub area. But more curiously, every time they did so, they would appear immediately next to us. Granted, this was more likely done for the pacing of the demo itself than for any actual attached gameplay mechanics. But again, we're just speculating here, so let's assume for the moment that there was more to it than that. As you recall, later on it was Michelle, the intrepid freelancer we were following throughout the entire demo, who actually invited the other two to join the squad. So what if she was inviting players into more than just her squad? What if she was inviting them to her world? It's possible the world of Anthem won't be a shared persistent world like you might expect with an MMO or an MMO light like we see in Destiny. Instead, the open world would be more player specific, a unique space that can be shared between friends in a more co-op fashion. Closer to Dark Souls with Mass Effect multiplayer mixed in. The first hint that this might be the case was seeing all the physical interactions throughout the open world. I mean, this is a lot more collateral world deformation than you might expect at first. If everyone playing this game is capable of making these changes to the open world, and we were all playing as part of the same world, there'd be nothing but craters and fallen trees everywhere. But that on its own doesn't really say much. So while digging around a little bit, I found this interesting piece on the official Anthem website. But the most interesting bit is this part here, which reads, "As your friends support you in your journey, so do your victories and rewards benefit your friends." It's interesting how the section that specifically deals with you playing together with your friends makes a very specific distinction between your journey and theirs, between your victories and the unique rewards which will benefit your friends. This certainly implies that every player will have their own journey, and by that I mean their own world to interact with, their own world to affect, to deform, to change however they see fit based on whatever story they're trying to tell. And while doing so, they can bring along three friends to share bits of journey along the way. This syncs up quite a bit with what we saw in the demo. While Paul was able to get his own rewards and resources, much of those were shared with the party leader. By contrast, when a major loot item was dropped, only the freelancer in charge was able to pick it up. Of course, we don't know if this was actually the case, or just how it was staged for the demo. But at the very least, none of this is out of line with what we've seen. In fact, we've seen something kind of similar in SOTOR as a way to present the individual character stories. But rather than this affecting only specific mission instances, Anthem would apply it to an entire open world. When you think about it, this makes a lot of sense. A drop-in co-op mechanic like this would allow for the seamless open world experience BioWare is going for, while at the same time allowing them to build the level of story and narrative that they're known for. And to be sure, several BioWare devs have hinted at the fact that the narrative for this game is gonna be big. Yeah, I'm hoping for romance options as well. Having a deep, rich, core story path that friends can join you on outside of hub zones certainly seems like a great way to accomplish that. But again, this is pure speculation. The real question is, how likely is any of this true? Right now, we have no way of knowing, but honestly, probably not that likely. At the very least, it's clear BioWare and EA are looking to provide a compelling experience to players who might enjoy The Division or Destiny as a game format. Simply put, they're trying to attract these players to Anthem. But this doesn't mean they have any intention of leaving any of their current fans behind. If nothing else, SWTOR has proven that it's possible to bring their core storytelling style to different gaming genres. Personally, so long as they maintain their high level of narrative and character development, I'll be very excited to see how that will play out in the Anthem universe. But like I said, this is all wild speculation. There's no way to know what we'll end up with until Anthem releases. So until we have more to talk about, tell us what you think. Does this idea have merit? Or do you have your own speculation to share? Let us know in the comments below. For now, this has been Gothic Gamer, and I'll see you next time.